All right, so I'm going to call to order the January 11th, 2022 Planning Commission meeting for the city of Sherwood. Roll call, Chair Simpson is here, Vice Chair Kai.
Here.
Commissioner Widola.
Present.
Commissioner Vance.
Here.
Commissioner Giles.
Here.
All present and accounted for. Consent agenda. The consent agenda consists of the approval of the December 14th regular meeting minutes. Do we have any comments or a motion to approve the consent agenda?
We had some other discussion other than just the kind of summary here, but it was mostly kind of, I think, training type discussion that we had for the most part about extensions and things. It's not in here, but I don't know that that kind of discussion matters to capture. What does anybody else think about that?
I think my opinion, it was kind of more of a sidebar discussion on how we should attend to them going forward, rather than a decision for the public record.
Yeah. Okay. That's how I saw it too. I just wanted to make sure we all felt the same. Well, in that case, I'll motion to approve the minutes.
All right. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right. It's been moved and seconded that we approve the December 14th Planning Commission meeting minutes. I vote aye. Vice Chair Kai.
Aye.
Commissioner Widola.
Aye.
Commissioner Vance.
Aye.
Commissioner Giles.
Aye.
All right. Moving on to the other agenda. Council liaison announcements. Councilor Scott.
I don't really have much today. I didn't prepare. I apologize.
Sorry, I was going to ask if did the City Council go through the SWOT analysis and have any feedback for the commission?
Great question. We have not done that as of yet. We did have a city council meeting last week. It was pretty late agenda. We do have another one coming up next Tuesday. I don't have the agenda yet as well for that, but no, we have not reviewed the SWOT analysis yet.
Okay.
But yeah, check out the website, sherwoodoregon.gov, for our next set of agendas. Should be posted relatively soon.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Staff announcements. Erica, you're on mute.
You know, after 2 years of this, you think I would know to unmute myself, but apparently that's not the case. A couple of announcements this evening. Our Sherwood West concept plan update. Our next meeting moving forward here is going to be February 23rd, both with the Technical Advisory Committee and our Community Advisory Committee. We are working on some draft housing scenarios for the committees to review based on our conversation from our December 15th meeting. Our next Planning Commission meeting is going to be held January 25th. It is a big hearing night. That night we're going to have 3 public hearings that night, and we're going to be starting a bit earlier at 6 p.m. And I want to let everybody know that we have 2 vacancies currently on the Planning Commission, and we are recruiting for those vacancies. Commissioner Alex Brown has resigned from the commission. Unfortunately, she's going to be moving out of Sherwood over the next couple of months. And she just wanted to let us know and for her to resign so we can get this process, moving to fill her seat in a timely manner. So, I appreciate that. And with that, are there any other questions? All right.
I thought there was something when we first started this meeting.
Oh,
and-
you know what? There is. We talked about moving platforms from
Yes.
Microsoft Teams to Zoom, and that is going to be happening soon. I just don't have the timeline yet. And when I do, I'm going to be reaching out to each individual commissioner and doing some training. Or if you're already familiar with Zoom, which you might be because you might be using it, in your personal and professional lives, just making sure that we have the basics down. And we're moving to the Zoom platform because there was a new Oregon House bill that passed that pertains to having the public show up live via live stream and provide, testimony to our commission and to our council. So that's going to be happening here shortly. And I'll have a list of protocols as well for the commission. And so, something new to get used to, via our virtual meetings. And I'm sure I'll do a great job of it.
All right. And didn't I hear that the state legislator has determined they're going to be meeting virtually this calendar year? Is that what they said, or this session year?
This session year. Mm-hmm.
So without the state making other changes, is it likely we're going to follow suit then and continue virtual?
That is a good question, and I don't have an answer for you yet, Jean. I think our senior leadership is within the city is going to have to make some decisions, as well as council.
All right.
I have a follow-up question on that one. I know the new regulation requires council to accept like live call-in to our Zoom testimony. Does that also apply to other boards and commissions?
Yes, it applies to all boards and commissions.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, currently, we only have community comments that are submitted 24 hours in advance. So our next agenda item are for those community comments. Did we receive any in advance of this meeting?
We did not this evening.
All right, then we are going to move into our
May I ask
public.
a question?
Yes.
For those of us who have never been in person at a planning commission pre-COVID,
Yeah.
what happens with community comments normally if there's people in the room, or in this case on a Zoom call? Do we just open the floor for people to talk and then we just listen for a while, or how does that work?
Yep. If they were in person, they fill out a blue card and they turn it into the recording secretary, and then the recording secretary hands it to me, and I have every opportunity to try and pronounce names. And 95% of the time I mispronounce them, and so it is no reflection on anybody except my inability to guess how people pronounce their name or read their handwriting. We have a 4-minute limit, and the operating rules at the Planning Commission are the 4 minutes are limited to those items not already on the agenda, and there are no derogatory or like there's a certain word I'm trying to find that can't be you can't personally attack any of the staff or commission, at which time your time would stop immediately.
Impugn their character.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to think of that too.
Yes, so we have those rules in place that you can't.
Yeah, and to be fair, we cannot attack back either. We don't respond, right?
No, and that is another thing, probably part of the lessons, is that because we are regulated by public meeting laws and we have to notice items, most of the agenda, if a community member brings a comment before us, oftentimes all the commission can do is either direct staff to bring it back to us at a future meeting so that we can publicly notice it, or we have to ask that be directed to the appropriate board, commission, or council, or staff members. If someone brings we can't debate it because we haven't publicly noticed it. It's inappropriate for us to have a conversation at any length. We can make comments and we can express concerns and we can direct staff to do something, but to make any decisions would be really difficult. I can't think of a scenario where we'd be able to legally make render an opinion or a decision without making a public notice. So that's where citizens' comments goes. So, any other questions?
So, but so they'll just, we'll just say, okay, are there any comments, and what people put their hand up and they'll call on? Cool. All right.
Yep.
Be a whole
All
new
right.
ballgame.
It is. And that's sometimes how we get to learn about things that are happening in our community, and we actually can have staff bring us back input and stuff like that. So
great.
All right. So now we are moving on to public hearings, and I show that the first one is the Oregon Street Business Park. And my understanding, unless it's changed, both hearings have received continuances from one of two sources. So I'm reading my I just want to make sure I'm reading the correct script. I'm reading the abbreviated script in both instances tonight, correct?
Correct.
All right. All right. The public hearing on case file LU 2021-015 SP Oregon Street Business Park is called to order. To maintain compliance with public meeting laws and pursuant to House Bill 4212, this meeting is being conducted electronically. The public notices for this meeting stated that citizen comments and testimony for this public hearing item had to be submitted in writing at least 24 hours in advance in order to be included in the record. It is my understanding that the applicant for the Oregon Street Business Park has requested a continuance until January 25th, 2022. The public testimony received thus far has been entered into the record and will be addressed in the first evidentiary staff report and hearing. The public hearing this evening will be conducted as follows. Staff will present the staff report, questions, if any, by the hearing body for staff. We will then close and consider a motion for continuance to a date certain. If this, sorry, I'm missing some language. If the matter is continued to a date certain, this will be the only notice of that date you receive. At this time, I will take a roll call to ask a member of the commission to disclose any ex parte contacts, bias, or conflicts of interest. Please state none or indicate the nature and extent of the ex parte contact, bias, or conflict of interest, and indicate whether you intend to participate in or abstain from this hearing. Commissioner Giles.
I have had no ex parte contacts, and I will participate.
Commissioner Vance.
None, and I will participate.
Commissioner Widola.
None, and I will participate.
Commissioner Kai.
None, and I plan to participate.
And I have had none, and I intend to participate. Now, we will have staff present the staff report.
Yeah, good evening, Chair Simpson and Planning Commissioners. Eric Rutledge, Associate Planner at the City. So as mentioned, yes, both of the applications tonight, including this one, have requested a continuance to January 25th, 2022. The reason for the continuance this time was because of a noticing issue or error on the city side. I know we talked at length a little bit last time about all the continuances and really wanting to get to these hearings. And so I just want to make clear that both the applicants were ready. I think they would have happened tonight if not for this issue. And to clarify the issue, both applications were required to be renoticed. Erica mentioned the House bill earlier, which requires us now to accept live testimony during the hearing. And so because of that, we renoticed both applications to let people know, if you'd like to participate live instead of just providing written comment before, you can do that. But as part of that renoticing, we had a staff member out sick and communication lapse and just didn't send the mailing. So we corrected that issue in time for the January 25th Planning Commission date. And so the hearing's been sent out or the notice has been sent out for that date, and we'll be ready to have the hearings on the 25th. I don't expect any continuances for that date unless something comes up on the applicant side, but we'll let you know if anything comes up. So I think we will have verbal testimony, certainly for at least one or two of them, if not all of the applications. So just want to give you a heads up on that. We'll definitely have people providing testimony. So for this application, the Oregon Street Business Park, we're scheduled for the 25th. They did extend the 120-day clock to April 6th, 2022, and that allows us to get to the Planning Commission hearing, a second hearing if we need it for Planning Commission, and then also an appeal to City Council if that's needed for this application, and then the next one.
And at this time, are we noticing, because this is the official notice of continuance, that the date and time, because the time of the meeting has changed?
Yeah, thank you. So we're going to start at 6 o'clock for this continued hearing on the 25th. So the mailing that went out will reflect 6 p.m. on the 25th. But in case anyone's tuning in now for the hearing, the continued hearing for this application and the next one will start at 6 p.m. on the 25th.
So the motion will need to include that language. All right. Any questions for staff before we take a motion? Have a motion? All right.
Commissioners, or Chair Simpson, I'm ready to make a motion.
All right, excellent. Go ahead.
I move the Sherwood Planning Commission continue the public hearing on the application for Oregon Street Business Park, project number LU 2021-015, until 6 p.m. on January 25th, 2022.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, I think everybody did. All right, it's been moved and seconded that we continue LU 2021-015 SP Oregon Street Business Park until January 25th, 2022 at 6 p.m. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll take a roll call vote. Chair Simpson, aye. Vice Chair Kai?
Aye.
Commissioner Idola?
Aye.
Commissioner Vance?
Aye.
Commissioner Giles?
Aye.
All right, motion carried. We are now moving on to our second public hearing item. And I guess, Eric, based on what your comment was, I have a hearing script that has been modified to this hearing script that has a lot of scratch outs on it, and I will need a new hearing script with the modification about accepting testimony in person, because that's not what I have right now. So
Yep, thanks for that heads up. We can get that to you.
yeah, thank you. Right now, I guess.
Hey, Eric, if it's not too much trouble, could you send me those scripts as well? I know you gave them to me when I first joined and I can't find them anymore. So I would love them too, just so that I can take some of the load off of Commissioner Kai for his scripting purposes.
Yeah,
I think one time we had somebody gone or something, and I was scrambling. So I just want to make sure I have them as well.
I I think it's not top secret, so I think when we get these scripts sent out, send them out to all commissioners, both on the continuance, the whatever I read before the public hearing, both quasi judicial and legislative, and the language for the legalese within a motion to ensure we capture all the variances for motions. All right. Next public hearing is case file LU 2021-012 SP VAR CUP Sherwood Commerce Center is now called to order. To maintain compliance with public meeting laws and pursuant to House Bill 4212, this meeting is being conducted electronically. Public notices for this meeting stated that citizen comments and testimony for this hearing had to be submitted in writing at least 24 hours in advance in order to be included in the record, and this will be changing for our continued hearing. It is my understanding that the applicant for Sherwood Commerce Center has requested a continuance until January 25th, 2022. The public testimony received thus far has been entered into the record and will be addressed in the first evidentiary staff report and hearing. The public hearing this evening will be conducted as follows. Staff will present the staff report, questions, if any, by the hearing body for staff. We will then consider a motion for continuance to a date certain. If continued to a date certain, this will be the only notice of that date you receive. At this time, I'll take a roll call to ask members of the commission to disclose any ex parte contacts, bias, or conflicts of interest. Please state none or indicate the nature and extent of the ex parte contact, bias, or conflict of interest, and indicate whether you intend to participate in or abstain from the hearing. Vice Chair Kai.
None, and I plan to participate.
Commissioner Widola,
None. I plan to participate.
Commissioner Vance,
None, and I will participate.
Commissioner Giles,
I have none, and I will participate.
and I have none, and I will participate. Staff will now present the staff report.
All right, same comment for the last, for this application as the last. Applicant has requested a continuance to January 25th, start time at 6 p.m. Instead of our normal 7 p.m. And for this one, we did not need or require a 120-day extension because their timeline, we got to the initial hearing faster, and so the current 120-day deadline for this application is April 6th, 2022, same as the one we just went over, so enough time for a second planning commission hearing if we need it, and an appeal to city council if that's needed. Hopefully not, but if that's needed as well, we have time to fit all that in within the 120-day deadline.
Excellent. Any questions of staff before we make a motion? All right, then we are ready for a motion.
Okay, I move the Sherwood Planning Commission continue the public hearing on the application for Sherwood Commerce Center, project number LU 2021-012 until 6 p.m. on January 25th, 2022.
I second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded that we continue LU 2021-012 SPVAR CUP Sherwood Commerce Center until January 25th at 6 p.m. Roll call vote. Commissioner Giles,
Aye.
Commissioner Vance,
Aye.
Commissioner Widola,
Aye.
Vice Chair Kai,
Aye.
and I vote aye. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, staff. I think you'll have a little bit more time on the floor at our next meeting.
Oh yes, a lot. We'll see you then.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, so we do not have any other items on our agenda, and we have two work session. One item to wrap up with on the So are we going to continue on this hearing, or do you send out an invitation to go back to work session?
We're going to go back to the last work session meeting link. Do you have that, Jean? I can send it to you if you need it.
Oh, I'm sure I have it. I'm logged in someplace to have it. So all the other commissioners have the link to the work session.
I got it. I'm ready.
Yes.
I think Erica just called me out because she knew I'm a troublemaker. So we'll see how that works.
We'll see you in the next room again.
All right. So if there are no other commissioner announcements, then we will adjourn until 6 p.m. on January 25th, 2022. Thank you.